Mm. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. That's what my mama used to say every morning, getting up her 6 children for school. Rise, she said, it's time to go to school. But the song really goes, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, soldiers of the Lord. Why? Because he chose you and chose me this moment, this morning, at this present time to rise, to inhale his love, to exhale his love, and to be of service to him and our fellow human beings, right? That's why we should give him the honor, the praise, the glory, the hallelujah, the worship, and most importantly, the acknowledgement. The acknowledgement. See, I acknowledge my God before I acknowledge myself, because without my God, there will be no me and there will be no you. So that's why I say we are chosen. We are chosen, and we have a purpose, and we have an obligation. And if you're like me, you will be honored to fulfill it. And that's why I want to invite you to my Edwina B, that's me, y'all, Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, on my free virtual presentation coming up this week, April the 20th, and next week, April the 27th, as I share with you my journey to transparency and authenticity. It's an orientation, but I help you, me, build the foundation of becoming transparent and authentic. Why? Because if you want somebody to believe you, you not just have to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk, and you have to look the part. Woo! And so normally I come on with my wig, a face full of makeup. I got my dentures in because I need them to articulate and pronunciate. But I snatch off that wig, wipe off the makeup, and even take out these dentures just to show how authentic and transparent I am and enjoy being me, right? And so right now, my crown is my hair. My makeup, what little it is, represents my culture and my heritage. I know the difference of taking off the mask. Why? Because on February the 22nd of 1990, in the streets of Philadelphia, 3 o'clock in the morning, I was underneath a parked car. Yes, getting away from my stepson, from him harming me, as we both transformed under the influence of drinking, drugging, me doing all the sexual favors for him. When everything was said and done, he became a violent person, and I feared for my life. Therefore, I jumped out the car, started running, got a flashback from my past. If I just get underneath the bed, they can't find me. And as I continued to run, I said to myself, if I just get underneath that car, he can't harm me. Yes, only weighed 90 pounds, face all sunken in, dark circles around my eyes, hair all short and matted, and missing several teeth. As I put myself underneath that parked car, the flashbacks continued. Edwina, you was the class vice president, co-captain of the cheerleader team, voted one to most likely to succeed, deemed the smartest of your parents' 6 kids. Your children admired and respected you, right? Had ambitions of being a model, an actress, a phys ed teacher. Why are you underneath that parked car? As an alcoholic, a crackhead, and a prostitute, there were some ugly sides of my 14-year addiction. At the age of 23, as a prostitute, I got pregnant and I committed murder. I had an abortion and I committed murder. From that point on, I said, whatever happens to me, I will deserve. So I've been raped several times, passed around like a bucket, called all kinds of names. Homeboys say, bitch, do me and do my boys too. If you don't do it right, I'm going to sick these dogs on you. You're either going to yield or you're going to die. I yield. Didn't want to, had no willpower to refuse because of the devastating effects of drug addiction, alcoholism, and the lifestyle, right? And so I robbed dead bodies to support my habits. I stepped over dead bodies, saw them stacked up in the basement. Young boys, as prostitutes, we manipulated them and conned them to giving us some free drugs, right? While we do them. But the drug dealers made an example of them. Jumped in and out of cars to turn tricks, jumped out of windows to save my life. Even fell off a roof after breaking into my children's house just to go to sleep. Broke in my sister's house to steal some of her items while she was out of town. Edwina, what is wrong with you? The self-loathing, the hatred, the guilt, the shame, the remorse. What is wrong with you? And somewhere deep, deep down inside of me came out these words, whoever they say you are, whoever they say you are, take me out this life now or show me a better way. Voila. My God, who I didn't know then, who I know now, chose me to live so that I can be prepared for things yet to come, like I'm doing right now, right? And I'm presently getting my doctorate in biblical studies at the 33 years plus in recovery, spiritual based. I got my master's in human services. I have a TV talk show for the past 32 years called Choosing a New Way of Life. I wrote my first book as it was written, and it is my journey of entries, my journal entries of a 4-year early in recovery, how it was suggested I write down my fears, my goals, my day, my behavior, my thoughts, right? Because I lied when I went to counseling. I lied when I went to therapy. I even lied in the rooms in the beginning, right? And so by keeping that journal off and on for 4 years, I was true to myself. I had no idea God was going to publish it, and I'm so glad he did because everything is in there, right? I'm in the process of writing my follow-up book, so outlining what has happened these past 33 years, and that is credited to Dr. Sonja of P3 University, who has been teaching me and many women the transformational teachings, right, necessary to identify our pain, create our passion, and continue to perform our purpose, and to gain spiritual profits. And so I'm a walkway model now. I'm an actress. I'm in plays, and they all center around addiction and recovery in one way, shape, form, or fashion. So you see, God had a purpose for me. But the main purpose he had for me is to share with you who have co-occurring disorders, mental illness, and chemical dependency that we can, we will, we do recover one day at a time. Why? Because all of us, to some extent, who are in a 12-step spiritual program, had our knee-bowing experience to the point where we called out and confessed with our tongue, he is. And so I'm just excited about what's going on in my elevated life of spirituality, and I wanted to share it with you. So join me this Thursday from 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern Savings Time, and next Thursday, the 27th, for the same topic. So you can join in for free. But in order to do that, I need your email address. So email me at edwina.bell@yahoo.com. Okay? The other thing I want to announce is that as a result of my 33 plus years in this on this spiritual journey, I am now a transformational speaker, a spiritual coach, and consultant. Why? Because I've been prepared. I've been prepared. As transparent and authentic as I am and continue to be, I am qualified to share with you that you too, using what I have been given to become totally transparent and totally authentic. The mask must go. So if you need a keynote speaker, a workshop leader, a facilitator, a trainer, a presenter, Mm-hmm. A coach or consultant, I'm your person. So call me. I thank God for preparing me to sit before you this second, this moment, in this present time. And if you want to see any of my podcasts for the last 3 years, please go to my Facebook page or go to YouTube and some on Instagram, and you will see my cuckoo for Cocoa Pop self. But I love me today. The Ruiz family created the 5 agreements, originally 4, but now 5, that I've been using. And most recently, the Transformational Teachings by Dr. Sonja of P3 University. So you see, I'm on fire. I don't represent any of them, but I represent the God who met me, delivered me, and prepared me from underneath that parked car to be sitting before you today. Okay? That's all of my announcements. And now let's get to the topic. Now, I'm going to say that I cannot find my glasses. And if you see me squinching, I can't find my glasses. So guess what? Can y'all hold on for a second? Huh? You can? All right. In the meantime, let me put some up so that you can read it while I go get my glasses, okay? Because this is what we're going to be talking about today. All right. So you read that while I go get my glasses. See what happens when you hit the pause button? Look, I found these in the drawer, all bent up. These are my dollar glasses, but they work, right? And that's what recovery has taught me, right? Woo! All right, so where was I? So I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do, and I'm going to bring back up our topic for today. So before I do that, let me straighten these out just a little bit, right? I'm out of breath. Woo, where's my coffee? Hold on, y'all. Where's my coffee? Woo. Okay. Now, see, y'all playing tricks on me. I can't find my coffee, so I got to drink some water, which I don't like, but I know I need to drink it. Huh? Okay. Let's get into our topic today. Oh, I am really off. Look at this, Edwina. Come on now. Okay. Let's put in our topic for today, and it is entitled Love and Fear as Opposites. Okay. So open up your spiritual ears and your spiritual eyes, and let's dissect this baby. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. All right. So love and fear as opposites. Now, okay. It says, all these failings generate fear, a soul sickness, in its own right. This is from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 49. Now, you know what? I got psyched again because I'm going to do my best. How about that? The person in recovery shares his experience and perspective. Fear knocked on the door. Faith answered. No one was there. I don't know to whom this quote should be attributed, but it certainly indicates very clearly that fear is an illusion. I create the illusion myself. I experienced fear early in my life, and I mistakenly thought that more the mere presence of it made me a coward. I didn't know that one of the definitions of courage is the willingness to do the right thing in spite of fear. Courage, then, is not necessarily the absence of fear. During the times I didn't have love in my life, I most assuredly had fear. To fear God is to be afraid of joy. And looking back, I realized that during the times I feared God most, there was no joy in my life. As I learned not to fear God, I also learned to experience joy. Okay, I got through that, but let me tell you, these must be my grandkids' glasses because they're not my reading glasses. So I'm going to do my best, right? And that's what the Ruiz family talks about in their 5 agreements. 1, be impeccable with your word. Don't sin against yourself and don't sin against others. Don't take anything personally is number 2. Number 3 is don't make any assumptions. And number 4, what I'm doing now, always do your best. And number 5 is be skeptical, but learn to listen. Okay, so when you look and hear the words love and fear as opposites, what comes to your mind? And most people will basically say, love is love and fear is fear. Okay. And, through my journey in this recovery process and learning and applying the 12 spiritual principles of a 12-step program, which I do not represent, that I had no idea what love was. I knew fear. I had no idea what love really was. And during our 4-step inventory, and as the Ruiz family talks about the domestication process, I soon learned there was nothing wrong with me, but there was plenty that happened to me. And all I needed to be willing to do is to be honest, be open-minded, and to go back and learn what I needed to unlearn so that I can learn new things that are spiritually based. That makes sense? So through my journey of 33 plus years, I have learned that love and fear are opposites. Okay? All right, so let's dissect what the reader has to say. All right, and the first thing that he says, our co-founder, is, I don't know why I'm putting these on, at these failing, as these failings generate fear, a soul sickness is a soul sickness in its own right. Okay, so it says here, all these failings generated fear. So when I think about my life and my inventory, I had great ideas, great aspirations, wanted to do this, wanted to do that. And guess what? When it didn't happen the way I expected or wanted, fear set in. I'm a loser. I thought I was this, but I'm nobody, right? And what they're going to say about me, they're going to make fun of me, right? So fearful, right? But all these failings, right? And these things that I expected to turn out the way I wanted to, right? I experienced failures time and time again, and that generated fear. Okay. And so when I shared with you all about going underneath the car, I shared with you the experience of playing hide and seek, right? One reason was to play a game, but another reason was I was fearful of what might happen to me if my dad found me, if my mother found me, particularly if I'd done something wrong. I was fearful, so I would hide underneath the bed. So again, the same pattern repeats itself. I don't go underneath the bed, but I go within. I like that. All right. All right. So let's continue. Now, the person in recovery, he says, fear knocked at the door. Faith answered. No one was there. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered, but no one was there. That is a powerful, powerful statement. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered, but no one was there. Can you just marinate on that for a minute? Fear knocked on the door, as it usually does, and faith answered unknowingly to us, to me, and no one was there. Where were we hiding? Underneath the bed? Behind the door? Behind the curtains? Where were we when fear knocked on the door and faith answered, but no one was there? Not anymore. Through the spiritual awakenings, experiences, and transformation of the 12-step spiritual, from a 12-step spiritual program, now incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family, and most recently, the transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja, we learned that fear, there's an acronym for it. Face everything and recover. Face everything and rejoice. Face everything and be rejuvenated. Face everything and realize it's only an illusion. Instead of the way we used to use fear with this acronym of forget everything and run, F everything and run. Oh, hell to the no, 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 no. Fear not, faith answered, and I was there. Right? Okay. All right. So let's go on and see what else our person has to say, right? So that we can dissect. Then he goes on to say, I don't know to whom this quote should be attributed, but it certainly indicates very clearly that fear is an illusion. Have you experienced that? Remember, we were told about the boogeymans. Don't turn off the light. The boogeyman's coming. That was domestication, as the Ruiz family talks about. That was the lies that were told to us as children, that perpetuated in our lives even up until now. Yes. And I found out through utilizing these spiritual principles, the 5 agreements and the transformational teachings, fear is just an illusion. Fear is just an illusion. And if you ever want to know how I came to know that fear is an illusion, you need to utilize the spiritual tools that were given to me and that I applied. All right, because you have to go through this journey yourself, but there is help. All right, so then he says, I create the illusion myself. I just said that, right? I experienced fear early in my life and I mistakenly thought that the mere presence of it made me a coward. Ooh. Now, at the time of experiencing that fear that we were taught that we experienced, right? There did come some points where we felt, oh, I'm scared, I'm a coward, oh, I can't do it, something's wrong with me. And as the Ruiz family talks about, with the first agreement, be impeccable with your word, we were impeccable, meaning we sinned against ourselves. We told ourselves these lies because it was taught to us. We believed them. They became a part of our belief system, and therefore they had to be true, but it was all a lie. And that's why the inventory is so, so, so important, so that we can unlearn the lies that were taught to us and learn the truth and the light. All right. All right. So now he goes on to say, I got 4 more minutes, looks like, right? I didn't know that that one of the definitions of courage is the willingness to do the right thing in spite of fear, right? So we learned that courage is walk through the fear, do the right thing. The willingness, that's the key word, the willingness. Courage is the willingness to walk through the fear, to do the next right thing. And in recovery, the next right thing may be different to you, and you. But we learn to do the next right thing is to do the next right spiritual thing. Because if it ain't spiritual, it's still an illusion. Hey, I tell you, listen, I don't know. This spirit just telling me, right? All right. So then he says here, right? During the times I didn't have love in my life, I most assuredly had fear. When I didn't have love in my life, well, that's what I mean by, do we know what love is? And so when I think about my environment, I thought my daddy loved my mommy and my daddy loved his children. But unknowingly to me, my dad was very abusive, and I didn't know that he was sick in his own way. And so it appeared that he loved us in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But how could he abuse us if he loved us, right? And so it wasn't love at the time. It was fear that we felt. If he walked in the door a certain way or came up the steps, we were trembling because we knew something was going down. That was fear. Yes. He didn't instill respect in us. He instilled fear in us. And that was the beginning of the perpetuation of fear from other people and things and situations and circumstances, okay? So the absence of love, it was fear, all right? And so he goes on to say, to fear God is to be afraid of joy. To fear God is to be afraid of joy. So let me share with that. I was taught that God was a punishing God. Yes, that when you bad girl, God gonna get you because you're lying, you're stealing, and you're manipulating and all that. Why? Because those are the behaviors I learned. My first addiction was to attention. It created the PPDs, people pleasing disease, putting on all the masks. That's why I take off the mask. The physical mask must go. And then I apply that same analogy to the issues within me. Remove the mask so that I can begin to reveal what I've been trying to conceal forever. But I could never heal. Yes. So to fear God is not to experience joy. Underneath that park car, when I had that knee-bowing experience, I don't know. All I knew at that time was, whoever they say you are, take me out this life now or show me a better way. Mm, that was the turning point. That was that knee bowing experience that each and every one of us will have. And we will confess with our tongue that he is, even if we don't know him yet. But I know him now. I know him now. All right, it's 7 o'clock. I got to get ready to go to my meeting. All right, so let me conclude with the last sentence. It says here, right? There, okay, and there was no joy in my life. As I learned, as I learned not to fear God, I also learned to experience joy. I have joy in my life. Can't you tell? It's not about the physical, it's all about the spirit. Donald Lawrence says it so eloquently. We are not natural beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings living and walking this natural experience called life here on earth. When we apply spiritual principles to earthly matters, we will have joy, joy, joy. And the Ruiz family also says that we can have heaven here on earth. We are one, a part of one, who it was created by our Creator, God Himself. So enjoy your day. I got to go to my meeting. If it's God's will that we be reunited tomorrow, I'll be here and I hope you will be too. But sign up, email me for the free virtual presentation from 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern Savings Time as I share with you my journey to transparency and authenticity. I am the love of my life because this life was given to me and I want to return what I can to be of service to my Creator. And that only means to be of service to you. I'm doing my part. What about you? Walk through the fear, face everything and recover, face everything and rejoice, right? My free to hope from recovery emerge enlightened. Therefore, from recovery emerge empowered to give hope to others, help others prosper equally. Be blessed.